Good afternoon, everybody. I want to start by going through the homework assignment that is due on the 27th of February, just before midnight. So as you can see, I've got Moodle up here. And now, under today's date, I've got homework 1, which is fMRI meta-analysis. So if you go in there, you'll find some instructions. Now, the first step is to go to this website, which is neuroscience.org/features. Okay, so I've got that open. Now what we want to do, actually I've got this open in a different window already. What we're going to do is think of a search term. Right? So ask yourself what interests you in cognitive neuroscience. You can skim through the syllabus again to get some ideas, or you could just be inspired by your personal life. Right now I'm a little sad, so I'm going to search for the term sad. And if you click on there, what this is a term-based meta-analysis of existing functional MRI studies in the cognitive neuroscience literature. And so this is going through lots and lots of different studies that used functional MRI. So this is a listing of all the studies, and it's doing an automated meta-analysis. And that meta-analysis results in this map. Now you can see there are different layers in this map. On the bottom there's this anatomical layer. In the middle there's a forward inference, and there's reverse inference. Now we'll talk about the difference between forward and reverse inference in our lecture today, but what you can see that now is that you can change the color, right? And so that this results in some differences, but also lots of similarities. So you can see how when you're sad, it seems like you quite consistently activate this bilateral region. We know this to be the amygdala, which is a region that's very important for emotion. And you can see how there are XYZ scores, there are anatomical landmarks or coordinates that give you an idea of where exactly in the brain we're looking when we click around. So it's a really nice tool, and you can scroll through all the different slices in the coronal and the sagittal and the axial directions. So you can see now that in addition to the bilateral amygdala, there are also some differences in the frontal lobe. Specifically, it looks like the anterior insula is involved, is active in forward inference, but not in reverse inference, right? So these different layers are a little bit like Photoshop. And so you can also download them. For this assignment, I don't really need you to download them, but I would like you to take some time navigating through this brain space. You can choose another term, of course. Not every single word in the dictionary is going to be here, but words that have been consistently studied in the fMRI literature are going to be here. Right, so go through these, choose a term, and then I want you to write a paragraph comparing and contrasting the results from forward and reverse inference, and post that paragraph on Moodle. Right, so you would post it on the assignment in Moodle. You've probably done this many times now. But what this allows you to do as an exercise is to go through the brain and look at activation from previous studies and try to interpret this relationship between structural imaging, which is as in the anatomical image. This is a T1 template of the brain, and the relationship between the structural image and the functional activity. Now, if you're not sure where this brain region is, so I can tell you right now that this is the bilateral superior temporal gyrus, but I've been doing this a long time. But if you don't know where this activity is, you want to find the anatomical landmark that corresponds to this activation. As a tip, you can go, there are many brain atlases online, and so one of them is quite convenient, humanbrain.com. And let's say you can go into the horizontal atlas, and you can start it. Click to use Flash, and you can then scroll through the brain, and this will let you identify all the regions in the brain where you might find an activity. Okay, so as an example, let me scroll here. Planum temporal, middle temporal gyrus, superior temporal gyrus. There you go. So that should correspond quite well to where you find this activity right here. Okay, so that's the assignment. You don't necessarily have to go into the brain atlas to do this assignment if you have a pretty good sense, if you've looked at other brain images before. And also, of course, at the back of the book you have a neuroanatomy atlas that might suffice for these purposes. So describe your results in a 250-word paragraph and post that on Moodle before the end of Tuesday, February 27th. Okay, so that's your first assignment.